Have you ever looked in the mirror in the morning, perhaps while brushing your teeth, and felt like the face staring back at you changed almost overnight? It's not just about a new wrinkle or a fine line. We all expect those. It's something different. It's that feeling that your skin has lost its snap, its bounce, or that vibrant thickness it used to have. You might pinch your cheek and notice it doesn't spring back the way it did 10 or even 5 years ago. It's a moment that can feel incredibly disheartening, making you feel as though your body is quietly giving up on you. But what if I told you that this loss of vitality isn't just natural aging that you have to accept with a sigh? What if the culprit is a very specific hormonal shift that practically drains the moisture and structure from your skin? And more importantly, what if there was a simple, soothing evening ritual that could help invite that vibrancy back? Today, we are going to talk about a hidden culprit behind thinning, dry senior skin that creams and lotions often can't reach because the problem isn't on the surface, it's internal. We are talking about the steep decline of estrogen and how it takes your collagen levels down with it. But don't worry, I am not here to sell you expensive treatments. I want to introduce you to a powerful, science backed herbal ally, Red Clover. This humble flower is a powerhouse of plant based compounds that mimic the protective effects of estrogen. We are going to build a nightly estrogen tea ritual around it. By the end of this conversation, you will understand exactly how to brew this elixir to help restore your skin's density, improve your sleep, and reclaim your glow. Before we dive into the science of this beautiful flower, I have a quick request. If you believe that your health is worth researching and that we get better with age, not worse, please consider subscribing to our community. We are building a space here for honest, deep dive health tips that often get overlooked in mainstream media. And I'm curious, where in the world are you tuning in from today? Are you watching from a cozy living room in the Midwest, or perhaps enjoying a sunny afternoon in Europe? Drop your city in the comments below. I love seeing how far our family extends. Now, let's begin this journey by understanding the root of the problem. To truly appreciate why this tea ritual works, we have to understand what is happening under the hood of your skin. You see, estrogen is not just a reproductive hormone. For women, it is a massive protector of skin health. It acts almost like a fertilizer for your collagen production. When we hit menopause and postmenopause, those estrogen levels drop significantly. In fact, studies have shown that women lose up to 30% of their skin's collagen in just the first 5 years of menopause. That is a staggering statistic. Imagine building a house and suddenly taking away 30% of the bricks from the walls. Naturally, the structure is going to sag. That is exactly what is happening to your skin matrix. It's not your fault. And it's not because you didn't drink enough water yesterday. It is a biological structural change. This brings us to the first pillar of our ritual, understanding the power of isoflavones. This is where Red Clover steps onto the stage as our hero. Red Clover is biologically unique because it is incredibly rich in a specific type of antioxidant called isoflavones. You may have heard of these in soy, but red clover contains all four major types of isoflavones: genistein, diazane, biochanin A, and forminonetin. Why does this matter to you? Because these compounds are phytoestrogens, which means they are plant-derived molecules that look remarkably similar to human estrogen. When you sip this tea, these little molecules float through your system and gently dock onto the estrogen receptors in your skin. They whisper to your cells, hey, let's get back to work. Let's look at the hard evidence, because I never want you to just take my word for it. A pivotal study published in the journal Obstetrics and Gynecology International examined the effects of red clover isoflavones on postmenopausal women. The researchers found that after 90 days of consistent supplementation, the participants showed significant improvements in their skin condition. We are talking about better texture, better moisture retention, and a measurable improvement in the overall appearance of the skin. Think of your skin cells like a factory that has shut down half its assembly lines because the manager, estrogen, went on vacation. Red clover is like an interim manager that comes in and flips the switches back on. It's not as potent as the original hormone, but it's strong enough to get the factory moving again, producing the proteins that keep your face looking firm. Moving on to the next crucial aspect of this ritual, we need to talk about skin thickness. One of the biggest complaints I hear from the beautiful seniors in our community is that their skin feels paper thin. You might notice that you bruise easier, or that your skin just feels fragile, like delicate parchment paper. This thinning is directly related to that collagen loss we mentioned earlier. When the dermis, the thick living layer of your skin, shrinks, you lose that cushion. This is where red clover truly shines, specifically regarding skin density. There was a fascinating study published in the journal Lipids in Health and Disease that specifically looked at the effects of isoflavones on the skin of overreactomized rats, which is a standard model for mimicking postmenopausal changes. The study demonstrated that isoflavone intake significantly increased the skin thickness and the collagen content. While we are humans and not lab rats, this points directly to the biological mechanism. These compounds stimulate the fibroblasts, the little worker cells in your skin, to weave new collagen fibers. Imagine your skin is a mattress. Over time, the stuffing gets flattened out. Red clover helps to essentially restuff the mattress, adding density back to the dermis so that your skin feels more substantial and resilient. This isn't just about vanity. Thicker skin is a better barrier against infection and injury. It is about protecting your body's first line of defense. Now, let's flow into the third element of our estrogen tea ritual, which is hydration, but not the kind you get from just drinking water. We are talking about hyaluronic acid. You have probably seen this ingredient splashed across expensive serums at the drugstore, selling for $50 an ounce. But did you know your body makes its own? Or at least it used to. Estrogen stimulates the production of hyaluronic acid, which is a gooey substance that sits between your skin cells and holds on to water. It's what gives a baby's cheek that pinchable, plump quality. When estrogen leaves a building, hyaluronic acid production plummets and the skin becomes dry and crepey. Here is the connection. The isoflavones in red clover have been suggested to help preserve the hyaluronic acid content in the skin. By mimicking estrogen, they encourage the skin to hold on to its natural moisture factors. A study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition highlighted that isoflavones can improve skin elasticity and hydration, likely through this very mechanism. So when you are sipping this warm, earthy tea before bed, visualize it as an internal moisturizer. You are watering the garden from the inside out. Instead of applying a lotion that sits on top of dead skin cells, you are encouraging the deep living layers to sponge up moisture and hold it tight. It's the difference between painting a dry leaf green and actually watering the plant roots. But a ritual is about more than just the ingredients. It is about the timing and the state of mind, which brings us to the fourth pillar, the stress skin connection. We cannot talk about skin health without talking about stress and sleep. As seniors, sleep can sometimes become elusive. We wake up more often. We have trouble drifting off. This is a disaster for skin because of a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it is arguably collagen's worst enemy. It literally breaks down collagen proteins. If you are stressed and not sleeping, you are in a catabolic state, breaking down your own tissues. The act of preparing and drinking red clover tea is in itself a stress reduction technique. But chemically, red clover also contains calcium and magnesium minerals that are essential for nervous system relaxation. Furthermore, by taking a moment to sit quietly and sip a warm beverage, you are engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. There was a compelling study in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology that showed how sleep deprivation compromises the skin barrier function and integrity. By using this tea as a signal to your body that the day is over, you are facilitating better sleep. Better sleep means lower cortisol, and lower cortisol means your collagen is safe for another night. It is a protective cycle. When you sip this tea, you are telling your adrenal glands, it's okay to stand down. You are creating a biological environment where repair can happen. Now that we understand the why, let's transition into the practical how. How do you actually perform this ritual to get the maximum benefit? You might think making tea is as simple as dunking a bag in hot water. But if we are using this as a medicinal therapy, we need to be a bit more precise. We want to extract those delicate isoflavones without destroying them. First, I recommend sourcing high quality organic dried red clover blossoms. You want to avoid pesticides because we are trying to detoxify, not add to the burden. For the ritual, take about 1 to 2 teaspoons of the dried herb and place it in your favorite mug, maybe one that brings you joy or has a comfortable handle for your hands. Pour boiling water over the herbs, but here is the secret: you must cover the cup. Use a saucer or a small lid. Why? Because many of the beneficial oils and volatile compounds in herbs can escape with the steam. By covering it, you force those potent therapeutic properties to drip back into your cup. Let it steep for a good 10 to 15 minutes. This is a long steep, I know, but we are making an infusion, not just a flavored water. We want the water to pull out all those minerals and isoflavones. While it steeps, use this time for yourself. Maybe do some gentle neck stretches or simply breathe deeply. When you finally uncover it, you'll be greeted by a slightly sweet, floral, and earthy aroma. Squeeze the herbs or the tea bag to get every last drop of the essence. I also want to suggest a powerful synergy to add to this ritual. While red clover is the star, you can enhance it with a pinch of spearmint. I know we mentioned spearmint earlier, and here is where it fits in perfectly. Spearmint has anti androgenic properties. In the absence of estrogen, sometimes testosterone, which we all have, becomes relatively more dominant, leading to those pesky chin hairs or adult acne that some seniors surprisingly deal with. A study published in Phytotherapy Research showed that drinking spearmint tea could significantly reduce free testosterone levels in the blood. By combining a little spearmint with your red clover, you are creating a blend that boosts the good female aesthetic hormones while gently dampening the ones that cause issues. Plus, the minty flavor brightens the earthy taste of the clover. It's a delicious, functional cocktail for your complexion. Let's move on to the fifth major point, which is consistency and patience. In our modern world, we are addicted to instant gratification. We want a pill that stops the pain in 20 minutes or a cream that erases wrinkles overnight. Herbal medicine does not work that way. It works by gentle persuasion, not by force. You are nudging your body back into balance. The studies we discussed, like the one from Obstetrics and Gynecology International, saw results after 90 days. That is 3 months. I need you to commit to this ritual, not just for a week, but as a lifestyle change. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't water it once and expect a jungle. You water it a little bit every day, and over time, the leaves grow lush and green. Set a reminder on your phone or link the habit to something else you do, like washing the dishes after dinner. Dishes done, kettle on. Make it automatic. The cumulative effect is where the magic happens. After a month, you might notice you're sleeping better. After 2, you might notice your skin feels less dry. After 3, you might catch that reflection in the mirror and realize the grayness has lifted. However, as a responsible mentor, I must address safety. I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you who should not drink this tea. Because red clover contains phytoestrogens, it has a blood thinning effect. If you are currently on prescription blood thinners like warfarin, or if you have surgery scheduled soon, you need to talk to your doctor before adding this to your routine. The interaction could cause your blood to be too thin. Additionally, if you have a history of hormone sensitive cancers, such as certain types of breast or ovarian cancer, the medical community is split on the safety of phytoestrogens. Some studies say they are protective, others say they are risky. In that case, erring on the side of caution is best. Consult your oncologist. We want to empower your health, not complicate it. Always listen to your body. If you start the tea and feel off, stop. You are the expert on your own physiology. Now, let's go a little deeper into the aesthetic experience of this ritual. I want you to imagine the timeline of your evening. You've had a busy day. Maybe your joints are aching a bit. Maybe you've been worrying about your grandkids or the bills. You enter your kitchen, the lights are dimmed, you hear the kettle whistle, a sound that signals me time. As you pour the water, visualize the stress of the day dissolving. This visualization isn't just woo-woo magic. It's psychoneuroimmunology. Your thoughts affect your chemistry. If you drink this tea with intention, believing in its nurturing power, you amplify the placebo effect, which is a very real, scientifically valid healing response. You are taking control. You are saying, I am doing something good for myself. That feeling of autonomy is crucial for mental health as we age. Let's also touch upon the nutritional context that supports this tea. You can't drink red clover tea and then eat a dinner full of processed sugar and expect miracles. Sugar leads to a process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to your collagen and make it stiff and brittle. Think of creme brulee. If your collagen is brittle, it snaps and forms wrinkles. To supercharge your estrogen tea ritual, try to pair your evening with a low sugar intake. Maybe enjoy a handful of walnuts or a piece of dark chocolate with your tea. Walnuts are high in omega 3 fatty acids, which further support the skin barrier. Now you have a triple threat: red clover for hormonal support, spearmint for balance, and omega 3 seconds for lipid support. You are building a fortress of health for your skin. Another question I often get asked is, can I just take a supplement instead? It's a fair question. Pills are easier. But here is why I advocate for the tea. When you consume a whole herb tea, you are getting a complex synergy of compounds, not just the isolated isoflavone. You are getting the minerals, the flavonoids, and the hydration. Supplements can sometimes deliver a massive concentrated dose that the body struggles to process or that spikes levels too high. Tea is gentle. It is a biological titering. Your body takes what it needs. Plus, you cannot discount the hydration factor. Most seniors are chronically dehydrated, and dehydration mimics aging. It makes skin look withered. By drinking a 10-ounce mug of tea, you are tackling dehydration directly. A pill can't do that. Let's recap what we have covered so far, because we have covered a lot of ground. We discussed how the drop in estrogen post-menopause leads to a 30% loss in collagen and skin thinning. We identified red clover as our champion herb because of its rich content of all four major isoflavones. We looked at the science showing how these compounds can increase skin thickness, improve texture, and even aid in hyaluronic acid retention. We talked about the importance of the brewing method, covering the cup to keep the goodness in, and the patience required to see results over 90 days. And we discussed the critical safety checks regarding blood thinners and hormone sensitive conditions. But there is one more layer to this. It's the concept of skin span. We talk about lifespan, how long you live, and health span, how long you live. But I like to think about skin span, how long your skin serves its function as a protective, sensing, regulating organ. Healthy skin allows you to feel the touch of a loved one, to regulate your body temperature, and to face the world with confidence. Taking care of your skin with this ritual is not vanity, it is maintenance of a vital organ. I want to share a quick story about a woman in our community. Let's call her Linda. Linda was 68 and felt invisible. She told me she stopped looking in mirrors because she didn't recognize herself. She started the red clover ritual, mostly for the sleep benefits, but she stuck with it. About 4 months later, she sent me a message. She said, I was at the grocery store and the cashier told me I looked radiant. I haven't heard that word in 20 years. Linda hadn't had a facelift. She hadn't bought $1,000 cream. She had just consistently nourished her body with phytoestrogens and hydration, and her skin responded. It regained its life. That is the power of consistency. That is the power of nature. As we near the end of this discussion, I want you to think about your current evening routine. Is it supporting you, or are you falling asleep on the couch with the TV on, waking up groggy and dry? You have the power to change that tonight. You can go to the store, buy a box of organic red clover tea, and start this new chapter. It is a small act, but small acts repeated daily are what build a life. So here is your summary of the estrogen tea ritual to take away. The ingredient: organic red clover tea, optional pinch of spearmint. Isoflavones mimic estrogen to stimulate collagen production and skin thickening. The method: steep covered for 10 to 15 minutes to preserve volatile oils. Drink it 60 minutes before bed to aid relaxation and sleep, which lowers collagen killing cortisol. The duration: commit to it for at least 3 months to see the cellular turnover and real results. You have the knowledge now. The hidden culprit of estrogen loss is no longer a mystery, and you have a tool to fight back. You don't have to accept thinning, dry skin as an inevitable sentence. You can fight for your vitality. I want to leave you with this final thought. Your body is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal. It wants to repair. It just needs the right materials. By giving it the support of red clover, You are partnering with your body rather than fighting against it. You are honoring the vessel that has carried you through 6 or 7 decades of life. And frankly, that vessel deserves a little pampering, don't you think? Now, I have a question for you to answer in the comments below. Have you ever tried herbal remedies for skin or menopause issues before? If so, what worked or what didn't? Let's get a conversation going so we can learn from each other's experiences. And if you found this deep dive helpful, if you learned something new about how your skin works, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps more people find this message. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button because your health is worth fighting for. And I want to be in your corner for the next round. Until next time, keep sipping, keep smiling. And remember, you are not just getting older, you are getting wiser. And with the right tools, you can get glowing too. Take care, my friends.